The body of well-known barber and football referee Fareed Ahmad lies in the morgue at the Carl Kushner Memorial Hospital tonight. The 38-year-old father of 4 young boys was shot to the head while driving his BMW SUV before crashing into a parked pickup off the shoulder of the George Price Highway between miles 16 and 17. The blasts from what residents say was a gun reverberated into the night before the sound of the collision was heard seconds later. Villagers exited their homes to find one of their own had been gravely injured.
I heard bang bang, I heard 2 gunshots immediately in front of my house, right? And then I heard like the vehicle sped off and like a hit the gravel, and then I heard one banging. So I jump up and I tell my kids, they make a run, go out there, go see. When I reach at the vehicle, I find out that one of our fellow guys right from the village, Fareed Boulevard, right? And I just see him on the ground, sitting down there, and I see the woman trapped in the vehicle.
Ahmad and his female passenger were rushed to the K.H.M.H for treatment. He succumbed around 2 o'clock this morning. The woman police constable, 24-year-old Michelle Brown, who was inside the vehicle with him at the time of the incident, remains hospitalized under police guard as an internal and criminal investigation is being conducted. But was Ahmad killed at the hands of the officer attached to the special assignment team? The family says that the two were not known to be friends and alleged that it was a hit.
The family is not insinuating that this team, understand, commanded by Mr. Vidal, was involved in Fareed's ambush. But there's a lot of unfortunates that have been occurring under this command. What we also do know is that the same commander had invaded our private homes last year and levied a drug charge on Fareed, a case that was dismissed by the court earlier this year.
I arrived on the scene couple minutes after the accident. There were individuals out there, the first responders, who mentioned that they heard shots prior to the accident. The police were around. You had the local police officers. At that moment, seeing my brother there on the ground, the only thing I did was see how I could have helped, render assistance to him. When the ambulance came a couple of minutes after, that's where me and my other brothers were. We left the police to do what we believe police should do, and these are gaps in regards to what went wrong.
The family asserts that he was assassinated because on Wednesday he made a formal report to the Professional Standards Branch about being harassed by the unit which falls under Southside Commander, Senior Superintendent Marco Vidal.
My brother Fareed Ahmad was ambushed this morning around 12 a.m. near mile 16 and a half, less than a mile away from his home in Hattieville. The Fareed that we know was a black, middle-aged, law-abiding, ambitious businessman, the most popular barber in Belize. He grew his business from the age of 21 years old to what it is today. What we also know is that the only issue Fareed has been complaining about for the past year is an ongoing surveillance, and oftentimes what he alleges as harassment by special units in the police department. In fact, what we know is that Fareed was targeted last week, having his vehicle searched at the Raccoon Street Police Station. From that search, he again alleged harassment and excessive use of force as he was subdued, handcuffed, and taken to the station by the new special assignment team. Unfortunately, what we also know is that yesterday morning, Fareed made a formal complaint to the Police Internal Affairs Office with Mr. Williams. And less than 12 hours later, my brother was ambushed and shot multiple times.
Both WPC Brown and Fareed carried licensed firearms, but none have been recovered. The family has more questions than answers, which was shared this evening in a prepared statement.
We have many questions, like the public. Even though our family continued to be tipped by members in the police force since this incident occurred, we question Why wasn't the scene secured by any officers when the incident happened, especially since WPC was involved in this incident? Why wasn't the place secured off, cordoned off, since both persons were known to have weapons, and when they arrived at the hospital, none of them had their weapons on them. So it's assumed that the weapons were inside those vehicles. Why wasn't the place secured off when the police station is less than a quarter mile away? Why did members of the SAT team show up at K.H.M.H right after the incident, only to confirm if my brother had passed away? Why did they show up at the scene this morning and Mr. Chester Williams had to chase the team away? I'm sure there'll be a response from the police department, but to us, the SAT team's behavior has caused us great alarm and grief.
The family foreshadows that another brother has also levied charges against police and fears that he too will suffer the same fate. Duane Moody for News 5.